Hey guys, it's Lady Cat. Welcome back to my channel. I know I usually come to you guys with beauty tutorials and things along that line, but I wanted to switch things up and give you guys a chance to get to know me and my personal story. So I figured I'd come to you guys with a very nice information about study abroad. A lot of you guys don't know, but about a year ago, my junior-ish year of college, I decided that I was going to study abroad. So January 23rd, I boarded an airplane for a little island by the name of Cyprus. It is right in the Mediterranean area. It's right under Turkey and right above Africa. Don't worry, I'll insert a picture here just so you guys can get a better understanding of exactly where it's at. I spent about 5 months overseas studying, finishing off my English major at the University of Nicosia, and it was by far the best time I have ever had in my entire life. We partied. Oh my god, I met so many friends. I actually met one of my best friends now, Jenna, the one that I'm always running to New York to go see. That's where I met her at. It was nothing short of a life-changing experience. I learned a lot about other cultures, but most importantly, I learned a lot about myself. Been out of the country by myself, so it was my first time getting on a plane and spending 12 or 16 hours I spent on a plane, including layovers, to get to Cyprus. The people that I went with, they were called global semesters, and honestly, it was so awesome. Like, my advisors, or the people that helped us, it was 3 of them. Tomas, Laura, and Constantia, and they took absolute care of us. I mean, any and everything that we needed, they were there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, making sure that everything went fine. Personally, I know that they took care of me. As far as their other programs and other places, I really can't speak on, as I've heard, you know, different feelings for different places. That those 3 advisors, Tomas, Constantia, and Laura, they were amazing, and honestly, my experience would not have been half as fun had they not been there. So I figured all the time when I talk to people about studying abroad, they just have 1,000,001 questions, especially people who have never really, you know, even thought about going out of the country. So I figured I would make a video with the top 10 most asked questions that I got right here on my phone. I'm gonna look in the internet, and I already have them sent right here. So without further ado, let's get started. Question number 1, why should I study abroad? Why not study abroad? You get to go to a different country and learn their language and basically hang out and have a great time and go to school for, I mean, 5 months. It's like, in my mind, it was literally like a vacation, like a 5-month-long vacation when I sometimes went to class. But even when I did go to class, it was awesome. You learn about other cultures as well as learning about yourself. You make lifetime friends. I mean, people that you really will be talking to. I know my group of friends, we're still in contact. I've seen almost every one of them within the last year that I've been home. I've seen almost all of my group of friends. I've gone to them, they've come to me. I know my roommate Sophia, she's come all the way from California. My roommate, having the courage to go out and meet new people and see what it's like, how you are interacting with other people, other cultures. You learn so much about exactly who you are and what you're made of. Also, I know going to Cyprus, we didn't just stay there, and I don't think anybody in the entire program just stayed there. My friends went to Egypt. We personally went to Greece, Italy, Spain. That was worked in with the program. We did Turkey. A lot of people did Paris, Prague, Budapest, Romania. Like, Europe is nothing like the United States. Like, with the United States, you have a couple other countries that are with, you know, driving reach. Like, for me personally, the closest other country is Canada. Or if I wanted to take a plane and really want to do something big, you can go to Mexico. I mean, they are so Americanized. You know, it's a great culture, but you don't really get like the gist of like a very, very, very old history. But when you go to places like Greece and Italy, we're talking thousands and thousands of years of a culture, and it's right next door. Literally, it was a $200 plane ride to get to Italy. I spent a weekend going throughout Greece and literally spent, I think, 350 euros. We did a Greek island cruise, and we spent $350, and that included all of our food, all of our drinks, and we went to Santorini and Mykonos and a couple other islands, just us girls, and had a great time. So it's one of several reasons to study abroad. Honestly, the question is, why aren't you studying abroad? Because it's just such a great. Question number 2 is, am I eligible to study abroad? I know the program that I went with, they required you to have between a 2.5 and a 4.0 GPA, or, you know, basically 2.5 or above. And I know that they even excuse me, let other people who had a lower GPA, just as long as you know, talk to them about it, they let you go through. It's really easy. I know I had a little bit of a hard time converting it, but that was honestly my fault. But I know that most colleges do accept other colleges. You just have to go through the right steps. Meeting with your advisor, meeting with your financial aid, just making sure that just as long as those credits are taken from America, it really shouldn't be any problem. But please do check with your advisors. Make sure you get all of the right, you know, steps checked out before you do go, because the last thing you want is to come back and none of your credits, you know, transfer over, and then you wind up having to do another semester in school. That's just not fun. So please do be careful. Talk to people, talk to your school, and make sure that your credits will be taken care of. Next question is, when should I start planning? Immediately. What do you mean? There's no time like the present. I always suggest that if you are planning on going overseas, you plan it at least 3 to 4 months in advance, just to make sure. It takes a while for everything to process, just because it's a different country and they're in a different time zone. So everything, you know, and people are busy, you have a busy schedule. So give yourself a good allotted amount of time to go through all the places you need to go in order to make sure that everything checks out. The earlier the better. It's always best to just get something taken care of as soon as physically possible. And on top of it, once it's all said and done and it's taken care of, all you're doing is looking forward to getting to the destination. I know me right now, this move to Thailand that's getting ready to happen in a month, everything's taken care of. All I'm doing is waiting. That's literally what my life is right now, is just waiting to go abroad. So the sooner the better. Make sure you just get it done. Okay. Question number 4. I don't know any other language. Will this be a problem? No. That's the nice thing about having advisors. 1, your advisors more than likely will know the language. And 2, most, if not all, the countries over there are very Americanized and it's almost like a necessity for them to know English. So I know there's a couple places where there was a little bit of a boundary, a little bit of a language barrier, but I would say most countries that I went to, everybody knew English, and it was very easy for me to communicate. It is a pain in the butt when they're talking amongst each other and it's a different language, and then you're just kind of like, what are you saying? Are they talking about me? That does become a little bit of a, you know, hard little stepping stone, but it is what it is. But most people really do know English, and it's honestly, if you're in a new country, it gives you a valuable opportunity to learn their language and figure out their culture and their customs. Like, there's no better place to learn a language than in the country it comes from. So most of the time, language barriers won't be an issue because most countries do know English. So, but of course, do research on the country that you do decide to go to. Don't just be trying to run up and go in somewhere and nobody speaks English but 2 other people. That's just not fun. Just be smart. Choose a good country which you're comfortable with, that you've done proper research on, and you shouldn't have a problem. Question number 5, is studying abroad expensive? No. A lot of people are pushed away from the idea of studying abroad because they think that it's really, really extremely expensive. My program, let me break down my program. My program was $13,000. I did pay before I graduated, $15,000 a semester. And that's not including room and board. So for $13,000, I got an apartment that I shared with 3 other girls who are amazing. I got to travel to Greece, Italy, and Spain. That included my Greece, Italy, and Spain plane tickets and breakfast every single place that we went. And it included the tours that we went to when we went to those particular countries. If I did not do Greece, Italy, and Spain within my program, then the program itself would have cost me $9,000 American dollars, and that would have still included my tuition for the University of Nicosia, and my room and board. So for most colleges in America, studying abroad is actually cheaper depending on what your state school situation is like. And most of the time it's cheaper than it is for, you know, studying here. My financial aid actually covered me completely and 100% for studying abroad. Not only did it cover me 100%, but there was actually money left over. I think I had about like $2,000 left over as pocket money that I used to buy my plane ticket over there and help towards my first couple of days over there, just getting me settled. I did, of course, I had a job. I've always worked. I did save up a good little bit of money before I did go over there so I could do more things, but most of the time it really is cheaper. Of course, always go talk to your financial advisor. Mine was absolutely brilliant. They helped figure everything out for me. Please go and talk to them, as well as talking to whoever is in charge of the program. Talk to them. They'll work with you. They'll help you out. They will try to find you the money to go over there because they really, really want you to go and experience their culture. I know the people who, my advisors, they actually went through the program themselves. I know Laura and Constantia both used global semesters while they were in college to study abroad at other places. So when I got on the phone with them, they were just like, oh no, of course, we'll help you out. We'll try to make everything happen. This is going to be a life-changing experience. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be great. We're going to make sure you come. So yes, definitely talk with financial aid, talk with your advisors. Is funding available? Currently, I know that as far as FAFSA and some other federal scholarships, there's tons of scholarships that will supply you, that will help you study abroad. All you gotta do is research. Google is an amazing thing. Just Google scholarships, anything along that lines. I know that especially right now in the world that we're living in, they're pushing to have Americans go out and, you know, study about other countries. I mean, we have all these countries that are so eager to come over here. They're trying to push us to go over there as well. So I know there are countless scholarships. FAFSA is always willing to help out with situations like that. FAFSA paid for me to go study abroad. So just do your research. Figure out, Google it. I'm sure you will find 1,000,001 options. Can I still graduate on time if I study abroad? Yes, you absolutely will graduate on time. Actually, Jenna, my girl that lives in New York, she was completely done college. She was on her 3rd year, and it was 3rd year, her last semester, and she had gotten all her credits taken care of. So what she decided to do was spend her last semester of college studying abroad. So she literally left and took a whole bunch of like regular little credits just to fulfill the credit requirement and made sure that it converted over. She did that and just took a couple classes over there and went ahead and completed all her classes, and she literally left 2 days before her graduation, got back and graduated from Pace University. As long as you get the proper paperwork and the proper signatures to make sure that your credits are approved from the right people, which is so important. I can't even tell you. Make sure you get your financial aid advisor, make sure you get your regular advisor, and you get school, like your study abroad department. Make sure you get all of your signatures. I cannot tell you how important that is. As long as you have the signature saying that they approved you for these credits, then they cannot do anything to keep them away from you. So just make sure you talk to the right people. Again, it's so important. Talk, get the signatures. How long can I study abroad for? I know most people do it 1 semester, which is usually 4 to 6 months at a time. I also know I know one of the girls in our group, she did Cyprus for 5 to 6 months. She stayed in Cyprus for the rest of the summer, and then that September she studied abroad again in France. I'm not saying that that's how everybody's story is. That's just one option. Some people stay in certain places for a year. Some people transfer completely. Just look at the proper places and whatever you feel is most comfortable for you. I was happy with my 6 months abroad. I went, I made great friends, and by the time the 6 months was up, I was ready to come home and I was ready to see, you know, my family and my friends again. But it's all your personal preference. Have you left your parents for that long before? Are you comfortable with doing that? It's all what you think you can and cannot handle. My personal advice would say start with 6 months. If you're not ready to come home, then push to do another 6 months or push to do a summer semester. Whatever you feel is comfortable, really. It's up to you. Question number 9. What types of housing are available for me? Personal housing. Some of them are lofts. Some of them are 2-bedroom apartments. Some of them are 3-bedroom apartments. That's what I had. I shared a bedroom with my roommate Lana, and then my other 2 roommates, Sophia and Jenna, they had their own separate bedroom. Some places have, you know, studio apartments where you'll be by yourself. There's options. Honestly, the options are endless. They even have homesteads where you can go and stay with a family, exchange programs where you can go and stay with a family. That person will come to your house, you'll go to their house, and you'll stay with an actual family. It's all, again, about your personal preference. You can go figure out what you're most comfortable with. Do you want to stay by yourself? Do you want to stay with your family? Do you want to have roommates so you have, you know, so you can get to know people? Do you want to go with a big program, or do you want to go by yourself? Personally, I went with a program. There was 69 of us. Like I said, I stayed with 3 other girls, and everybody, we all had apartments. Our apartments were literally next to each other. There was 2 more who were a little further down the street, but for the majority of the time, we were literally next to each other. We would go back and forth between each other's apartments. And as far as the school, I walked to school every day. My school was literally up the street. It was literally up a hill. It took me 5 minutes to walk to class every day. So do your research, figure out what you feel is best. So make those decisions. If you want to go, you know, by yourself or with a group, really figure out what you think you're going to be most comfortable with. Okay. Last but not least, what challenges should I expect to face? Here it's going to come to things like culture shock. It does come to be a little bit. I know when I first got to Cyprus, there was a little bit, Cyprus is an island, so it was very small. People knew that, you know, you kind of stood out. I know I stood out, and all of my roommates stood out, and all of the people in our program stood out. So it was just a little bit of an adjustment, a little bit of culture shock. You're going to get homesick. There was plenty of times when I was just like, I miss my mom, I miss my friends. I kind of wish that they were there or I was here. You know, you're going to face that time, but honestly, those are humps that you're going to get over, that you will, you know, work through and get over with. My best advice for homesickness is to get out of the house and get onto a routine. I needed to put myself in a routine in order to get through it. So I know that I would go to class every day, and then after I came from class, I would go for a 30-minute run. Then I'd come back and I'd have lunch with my roommates, and we'd take an afternoon nap, and then I would cook dinner. I was the house chef. And then after dinner, I would go on another run, or we would go out and we would eat. We had a set and steady schedule that kept me busy. We went and we joined clubs and we made friends, and we would go and have a drink at the bar. Stay busy. That is the cure for homesickness. If you stay in your room and you wallow with how sad you are, it will consume you. Go out, meet people, meet friends. Even if you're uncomfortable, go. Because I guarantee you're going to find somebody out there that's also just as uncomfortable as you are. Really, that's like what it is. The culture shock thing, you're just going to have to work through. The more that you're there and the more open and friendly and open you are to their culture and their experience, they're going to come to be more comfortable with you. They're going to start opening up and sharing with you, and you're really going to get a feel for how that country is. That's really all I can say. Of course, the language barrier does provide some issues. If you are a person of color, depending on what country you go to, you will experience mild racism. We had a couple issues, none too big, but you work through them. Just, you know, be aware, do your research, figure out where you're going, and just be open and friendly. People are so welcoming in other countries. I had everybody, we met people from all over the world, from Nigeria and Turkey and Jerusalem and, you know, Italy, Spain, and Italia, and Europe. We had all of these people, and they've become really great friends, and we still talk to them to this day. And it was honestly the best experience that I had thus far, which is why that I'm rushing off to have another international experience, because it's just, it was an experience that you honestly can't put a price on. It genuinely is priceless. So please do your research. I am going to link Global Semesters down below. You can click on it. I know that they offer study abroad places and as far as Cyprus, they also have Cyprus, they have Italy, they have England. I know that they just opened up something in China. Take a look. It's all different. I'll definitely have them below and my information below. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to put them down in the comment box below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a great day and happy and safe travels. Bye.